So today's Cooking with CEO is going to be a bit of an experiment. I have had a hankering for homemade tamales for some time, but alas, I've never gotten around to making them. So we're going to try it out today and hope it works. Here we go. First thing we're going to do is set a pot with water and start getting it to a boil. As you know, it takes a while. So in the meantime, we are going to add some spices. We're going to do, let's see, about 2 teaspoons of chili powder. And just stick it right on in the water. Then we're going to do teaspoon and a half of cumin. Cumin, potato, you know. Then we're gonna put in a teaspoon of oregano. Mexican oregano would be better, but today I don't have it, so
Greek it is.
Greek it is. And a teaspoon of cayenne. Gotta get a little bit of heat in there. I'm not much for spicy food. It just doesn't go well with me, but I love my cayenne. And then we're gonna add some salt. I don't know, teaspoon. And then crank on the pepper. I am going to put the lid back on, wait till it boils, and then we're going to put our chicken in it.
It's boiling. Now we add the chicken. Wash your hands, please, before handling meat. Don't drop it in. Just gently. You don't want spicy water splashing up in your face and all over your body, because that's 2 different kinds of burns, and that sucks. Now, for the love of God, wash those chickeny hands. Now that you've washed your hands, bring the pot back to a boil. Once it's boiling, bring it back to a simmer. Put the lid on and let it simmer for an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Wait patiently.
Now, before the chicken's completely cooked, we need to hydrate our corn husks. So, in this pot, I've laid out about 20, separated them. Make sure you have some kitchen shears in case you need to cut off any moldy spots. Ooh, gross. And any of the ones that end up being moldy, like this one, just don't use it, alright? We don't need that. So make sure you have good, clean ones in there. And then I'm going to take boiling water, pour it over slowly so I don't burn myself. Get these all nice and wet. And I think I'll have to put in some cold water too, just to get a little higher. I want to get them all hydrated. And I'm just going to push them down a bit. Make sure they all get under the water there, because these need to be pliable. So make sure they all get under the water, and I'm just going to stick the lid on and leave them.
Time's up. Finally. I'm going to kill the heat and check this stuff out. Use tongs, please. I'd eat it like this, personally, but we need to shred it. So, what we're going to do is going to drain off some of that excess liquid. Put it off to the side on a cutting board. Wow. I kind of crushed that thing. Wow, that is fall apart tender. That's what we want. So, we will take the chicken. Oh, it smells good. Oh, I could eat this right now. We'll put that off to the side for a little bit, let it cool down, and then we can shred. Now as for this, the cooking liquid, the broth, the spices, the chickeny goodness, we're going to need some of that for later. While the chicken's cooling, and before you get ready to cook it with some of that reserve liquid, which smells awesome right now, and as you start to assemble your masa harina, get ready to cut an onion and garlic, aka God's gift to the culinary arts. This onion and this garlic are going to be part of our tamale filling along with the shredded chicken, and we're going to need 1 onion, and you can use as much or as little garlic as you like. We're going to go ahead and go with 3 cloves. Don't be surprised if I start crying, because it's just, tamales are just so beautiful. Okay, so after observing the amount of onion I've chopped already, the amount of chicken we have over there, decided that half an onion is all we're gonna need. Now that we've got our garlic and onion chopped, it's time to saute. Well, not really saute. We're trying to sweat it. We're really not trying to cook them so much as we're trying to soften them. So the way to do that, put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of your frying pan, put it on medium heat to bring it up to the temperature that you want, and slide it on in. You should get a little bit of sizzle, not a whole lot of sizzle, a little bit. Alright. Mix it around in the oil a little bit. Get everything all nice and incorporated together. Oh man, you can already smell it. And once you got it all kind of mixed around, back off the heat to about medium low. And keep an eye on this. We're not looking for browning, we're looking for softening. We want the onions to become translucent. Now it's time to shred, and not my typical kind of shred. We have to shred the chicken. What's the best tool for the job? 2 plain kitchen forks. The kind that you eat with. These are good kitchen tools. They're not just for eating. So, how do you do it? Well, it's very simple. Take your chicken and go to town on it. Using 1 fork to kind of anchor it so that it doesn't go sliding all over the place, and the other to just tear at it.
It's time to make the masa. So we have our masa flour, and we are going to do 3½ cups. I say let's put in a teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of a baking powder, not soda. They're different things. And as some of you may know, I'm very health conscious. So instead of lard or Crisco that has hydrogenated oils, this is what I stick to when substituting for shortening: coconut oil. And so we are going to use ½ cup coconut oil. And as you can see, it generally is the same consistency as shortening. So it works well in place of that. And it has medium chain fatty acids in there, so those are good for you. No lard in this house. Get the baking powder in there through the cornmeal. And now mix the coconut oil around. Now obviously this looks, how is this all gonna stay together? Because we gotta put one more thing in this. I'm gonna get all the oil as through as I can first. Our last addition is adding in some of that liquid from the chicken until it gets moist, until it can hold together.
Okay.
Smells really good. And yeah, just mix it around. We might need a little more, depending on the consistency. Oh, bother. It's time to go in with our hands. It's already stuck to my hands anyway. I think we're gonna need just a little bit more, but it's almost there. It's holding together decently well, so I think I'm just gonna put maybe another half a cup in.
Now it's time to bring our filling together. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take half a cup of the cooking liquid and put it into the bottom of this pot. I'm going to try and get as much of the good stuff out of there as I can. And you know what? Since it's my recipe, a little bit extra for good measure. Turn on the heat. I'm going to keep it at medium. And then slide all your shredded chicken into there. Alright. Next, take your onions and garlic, add them in there too. And take your spoon and bring it all together. All that liquid seems to already be gone, and I'm not too pleased with that. So, I'm going to go ahead and add another half cup. Right on top of the chicken. Oh, what the heck. A little bit more. There you go. So we're going to let that cook a little bit. Get nice and warm. Let that liquid kind of absorb into the chicken and cook off a little bit. But what we're really after are some of those spices and some of that other goodness that was in that liquid that we were simmering our chicken in for 2 hours. Okay, who's ready for a party?
Yay!
Sort of. Okay, now comes the hard part of assembly.
I belatedly put on an apron, so, that's... Alright.
So, we're going to take a ball of our masa dough, put it right down in the middle, and flatten it out. Don't really know how flat this is supposed to be. I'm just kind of guessing at this point, but I've been experimenting, and you don't want to be too thick, and you don't want it to be too thin. Remember, we're trying to wrap it around the chicken, so you want to give it a little bit of play. There we go. Getting close. I think we'll be okay with this. Alright, now take some of the filling. Yes, I washed my hands for this. Kind of line it down the center. And try to evenly distribute. There we go. I think that will work just fine. Alright, now to roll. Take each side and bring it to the middle. If you're lucky, the two sides will meet. The way that I kind of found works is kind of fold one side over the other and then bam, wrap it all the way around. Fold up the bottom if you can. God, this one's a little tricky. And then kind of close up the top. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cook them in this here slow cooker.
Now I'm going to have to add some more.
Just lay that in there. Now that we've got all the tamales made and stacked in our crock pot, I'm going to put a little bit of water at the bottom of the crock pot. We have a little rack down at the bottom that's kind of keeping the tamales suspended above the water. Now, we put the lid on, turn the heat to medium-high, and we wait. When it comes to slow cookers, we don't do time. We do doneness. So, let's see what happens.